Alrighty. So, share my screen. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frontera's YouTube channel. My name is Felicia Farley. I am the Marketing and Fundraising Coordinator. And with me today, I have Krista Bopp. She is a licensed professional counseling associate, as well as a licensed chemical dependency counselor. Today, we will be giving you a short presentation on self-care strategies to help manage holiday stress, followed by a live Q&A session with Krista so that you may ask her any questions you may have. If you're unsure as to whether or not you're watching live, look at the top corner of your screen, and if the red live icon is there, we are live. If it is not, you're watching the replay and can still drop your questions or comments into the chat, and we will get back to you. So Wellness Uncorked is brought to you in partnership with the Texas Wine Auction and Frontera Healthcare Network. With grant funding from the Texas Wine Auction, we have been able to launch this initiative program to bring free group counseling classes, educational seminars, health fairs, and more to individuals who work within hospitality, service, and retail industries, as well as their families. At this time, I'm going to turn the show over to Krista, and we can get started.
Good morning. We're going to talk about the top 10 ways to manage your holiday stress. And we're going to begin with prioritizing. Of course, I know you all can read here, and I'm going to elaborate on each one of these, but prioritizing your time helps you direct your energy and stay organized. It also helps you and your family avoid future tasks that you may have procrastinated unintentionally. It also helps you put boundaries. When we put boundaries around our time, we help for those boundaries not to get crossed. Time boundaries are usually the ones that get blurred and crossed the most over the holidays. It's absolutely necessary to put boundaries around your time. Prioritize the things that are most important to you. When you respect your time and how you spend it, you feel better in the long run. Setting boundaries. So when we set boundaries, it sounds a bit ambiguous, but we establish boundaries to help feel safe and more in control. Boundaries can include scheduling check-ins, taking breaks when needed, and being aware and cognizant of the time you give others and tasks. Setting boundaries, it's important to set boundaries around time, but checking in with yourself and your family are also very, very important during this time. Taking breaks when needed, because family can be overwhelming, is important for you to say, okay, listen, I know I can spend about an hour there, but after that, I need to go and do something else. Or, okay, I have to be here from 7 to 8. I need a break in between. I don't want to be anywhere else until 9 or 10. Paying attention to what you choose to do and how much time you devote to it and who with will really matter in the long run. Scheduling check-ins. When I say scheduling check-ins, what I mean is to pay attention to who and what and how much of what's going on. So to focus a little deeper on check-ins, what I mean is sitting down at dinner and having a conversation. If all of your kids are still at home, try to make a couple of dinner times mandatory during the week where everybody's checking in and letting you know how they're doing. It might be calling or doing a check-in with a college-age kid as we get close to finals and making sure they're doing okay as they approach the very stressful season of finals. Or it might look like calling that elderly parent that's living alone or maybe in an assisted living home to make sure that they're managing things okay as we lead up into a very, very busy Christmas season. Carving out hobby time. Carving out hobby time seems like something very simple, but when somebody asks me what my hobbies are, I have to stop and think because I don't have a lot of time for hobbies. But when you sit down and you list out maybe the things that you enjoy doing for fun, one of mine would be cooking. So carving out hobby time for me would look like cooking a meal once a week that I really love for my family and putting just all my love and effort into it because for me that's my way of sort of giving back to myself, doing something that I love and giving to my family at the same time. Finding something that brings you joy and incorporating it into this crazy time can really make a difference. So try to do that at least once a week. Next is avoid multitasking. And this one, I think a lot of the clients that I speak to are always so surprised. But we think when we multitask, we're actually doing more things effectively. But unfortunately, our brains, they're wired to be multitasking, but that doesn't mean that we're effective multitaskers. And it doesn't even mean that what we're doing is effective. So studies have shown that when we multitask, we overwork our brain and are less effective overall. So try during this time to do one thing at a time. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my gosh, but I have so much to do. I have to fill this out while I'm doing this. I would say that if it's something that you can get started with and walk away from, then you're still doing one thing at a time while, say, something's baking in the oven. But when we try to do too many things at once, the effectiveness of what we're doing lessens and we stress our brains out. So try to lessen that pressure by just doing one thing at a time. Delegating work. Delegating work is very important. As it says here, delegation is a part of self-care. Giving other people the opportunities to help you. So you don't have to live by the motto, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. While maybe that is true, if you end up stressing yourself out by doing everything by yourself, then it ends up being a lose-lose situation. It's better for your own peace of mind to delegate. Asking for help not only shows you trust others, but it also can relieve you from doing everything. Practice mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, what we do is we can help ourselves cope with a busy life, make better decisions, and manage problem areas. As it says here, mindfulness is not just meditation. A lot of people think it is. It is not. Although meditation is a great way to be more mindful, mindfulness is just taking time out of your day to pause and reflect and be present in your life. So, what does that look like? So, being present in your life can be just eating your meals more slowly, just chewing your bites and maybe taking a drink in between each bite, enjoying your coffee, sitting outside and just kind of watching the birds fly around or the leaves on the trees blow, going for a walk and just taking in all the senses from outside, or even journaling, taking that time to be very reflective and present in your day. If you want to do a meditation, though, because they are very effective, consider doing something guided. And if you get on YouTube, there are many, many, many free ones out there. And a few recommendations I have that I like to use because I find guided meditation to be very effective. Anything from Sarah Blondin or Dan Howard or even John Kabat-Zinn, they all have anywhere from 2 to 5 to 10-minute meditations or more that can just help you to relax and be present in your day. Carving out your time. So when we carve out our time, it's about self-care. It's setting aside a few minutes a day for that me time, no matter what you do, and just being consistent with doing that. So it says here, if you schedule time, like even 20 minutes before bed to read and relax, getting that book out and just saying, okay, 20 minutes before I get to bed, I'm going to read a chapter or part of a chapter in this book, or setting an alarm for a daily work break where you go outside and you go for a little walk, or maybe maybe you play a video game for 20 minutes or more. It's a way to just take a brain break from what you're doing and you carve out a little bit of time for yourself. Spending time with friends and family seems kind of silly to say during this time because that's exactly who we're probably going to be spending time with. But that's not exactly what I mean. It says humans are not meant to be solo pilots, though many of us as parents find ourselves swamped with taking care of the kids, working, and maintaining our homes. Yet we all need the pleasure of less structured time with loved ones and friends. Is there a certain day of the week that you can plan on a family dinner? If you can't see your friends as much as you used to, what about checking in by text or phone call? I think that this is also about spending time with your family and friends, not in these big groups, but in some smaller groups. So if you've got kids coming home from college and you want to spend time with them, maybe do it individually so that you can check in with each of them and find out what's going on in their lives. Or set a time for just your immediate family to sit down and do some maybe a family game night or something. It's easy to get caught up in the large family get-togethers where it's just too big and too much for people to do effective check-ins, but here, spending quality time can be maybe carving out that time for smaller doses of individual experiences. And last but not least, but most important, is pampering yourself. As you can read here, from time to time, kids expect us to go overboard and give them a treat. Well, why shouldn't you have one too? Um, my husband and I try to do a date night every 2 weeks or so, just so we can do something special for each other. Maybe it's a meal, maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a show. Um, but we try to do that for each other. When our kids are around, we try to spend time with them either individually or all together. But either way, pampering yourself and taking care of yourself allows you to have your bucket filled so that you can effectively fill somebody else's bucket. So remember that over the holidays, that you're only as good to someone else as you are good to yourself first. So remember to take care of you so you can take care of others.
Thank you, Krista, for being our presenter today. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat now and we'll take your questions. If you liked what you heard today or have a request for a future topic, drop them in the comments and we would love to hear from you. Are you ready to begin your mental health journey? If you would like further information on the Wellness Uncorked program or to schedule an appointment with one of our licensed professional counselors, please contact us by calling 325-597-0102 or visit fronterahn.org. Frontera offers counseling services in person and virtually. And as always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss a notification for when we go live and learn more about the importance of mental health.
Better?